her children, rise up and call her happy. Her husband too. And he praises her. Yes, the word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
Once the song is played, his sister, beautiful Sarah, will come and introduce our guest speaker. Amen.
This is a celebration. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I am Sarah Dillard. I am the sister of the guest speaker, Mr. Gyles Dillard. And before I introduce him, I just want to say that this is a really great opportunity, and we're really happy to be here. Pastor Charlotte gave him this opportunity, and I just want to say thank you for inviting us, and thank you for being hospitable, and the congregation, and even flowers. All of this means something. Everything is symbolic towards Mother's Day. Giles Khiry Dillard, Raleigh, North Carolina native, once spotted by Dr. R.L. Holmes of Fayetteville State University, the late Dr. R.L. Holmes, saying that boy is a national athlete, an All-American. He began playing football late, as a matter of fact, not until 8th grade, but by 10th grade, his career was upgraded at Mill Grove and Millbrook High School to varsity. He led his team to great victories and championships. As a radical extreme motivator and long-distance runner, Giles was often called upon to change the atmosphere and the complexion of the game. At Miller Grove High, he graduated class 2007. He played the positions of strong safety and defensive captain, better known as Diggy, as he preferred, featured on ESPN, and highly recruited for his athletic skills. Newspapers recorded his stats as second in DeKalb County for tackles and losses. Mr. Dillard plays 4 instruments: drums, trombone, tuba, and baritone. As part of a national winning concert band, creating spectacular and memorable movements is what he is most known for. He is a lyricist, an author, a son, uncle, and brother, great friend. Supervisor at his current place of employment, and is also a survivor, overcomer, and here today to share his I Am victory. Introducing my brother, Giles Khiry Dillard.
Hey, how y'all doing today? My name is Giles Dillard. I am the son of a mother that's very much a building block in my life. That's why I titled my message today as The Mother That Built Me, the Skyscraper.
Amen.
First, I'd like to also say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I'd like to thank Pastor Caldwell for inviting me. I come from a very wealthy mother. I haven't wanted for anything since I crossed over from the spiritual to the physical plane. I was born December 17, 1988, in a small town called Waynesboro, Georgia. And anything that's great, large, or supreme starts small.
Amen. Amen.
Since I can remember, I've wanted the world. At the age of 3, I made a statement that one day I have a house the size of Regency Mall.
Whoa.
It's a mall in Augusta that's no longer in process of population, but it's a very large mall. But this awareness didn't come from me. It came from the blueprint that was passed down from me from my mother. Because at that age, I wasn't aware of what I was saying. I just imagined what I wanted for my life. At 5, I used to have to stay home because everybody else in my family had to go on with their life and go to school or go to work. But at this time was my make or break me moment. because I had to remember the things that my mother would do at this time if she was here, what she would cook, what things would be dangerous to me, and what things would be safe as well, and what things would be productive for me to get through with the day just being there all alone. I used to wonder sometimes would I be able to live up to the plan that was mapped out for me. Sometimes I felt like it was too much for me, and at times I thought it was too small as well. That's just the ups and downs of being a skyscraper, because it's always a process to being built. Nothing comes overnight.
Amen.
There's 5 processes to building a building. First, you have to map out the land that you want to build it on. You have to understand the people that you want to build with, the contracts that you have to fill out. You have to do your research on the people that's going to do the contracts. Are they worthy enough to build it? Do they have enough experience in the way that you want to make it be built? So in that, my mother being my example and watching behind the things that she does and the way that she would push herself in situations made me understand what I would take for me to get to where I was trying to go. People might see my mother and see the things that we have succeeded in, and they look at her and they'll say, "You better be proud of your mother," and I am. But to me, that's just a day in her life. It's a normal thing to us because we understand you got to be yourself at all times for you to be able to climb the mountain that's presented to you.
Amen.
Yeah.
She fought so many battles, seen and unseen, just to keep her character. She's covered newspapers and books in Nashville. She's covered acting scenes in televisions. A movie called Tupac that was released a couple of years ago she was in. And we went to go see it. And at one point of the movie, Tupac mother goes and visits Tupac while he's incarcerated.
Take your time. Take your time.
Tell your truth, brother.
It's a heartfelt moment because I can relate to the movie or the part of the movie when she had to leave
Yes.
after she used to visit me.
Yes.
And I could see my mom to walk to the car. And it was just something that I connected with.
Yes.
It was a moment that made me realize where I came from and the things that I had overcome. Just because you're winning, that doesn't mean the people that are around you see your success as something positive. Negativity lies in all corners, and the people that knew you from your past seem to always remember when you wasn't in that position and rather stay there than to come up to where you are.
Yes.
Knowing and living this and facing these obstacles and people, I've had headlines, highlights in my life, like my memo say, playing sports. I played sports all the time since I was young, but I never got involved with sports until I went to the 8th grade. And I always strive to be the best, no matter what. I have an older brother that, no matter what, he wouldn't let me win. I would have to make myself win. I had to build myself a strategy to win. And in the 8th grade, our school hadn't won a championship in about 5 years. So I played strong safety and running back at the moment. So my appearance caught people off guard. because they would seem like I'm very calm, I'm relaxed, I'm not a person that expresses itself too much with my mouth. You know? I'm a person of action. So once I put on the equipment and got onto the field, I was able to show people my abilities and things of that nature. And for the first time in 5 years, we won a championship with an 8-1 record.
Amen.
I also played many instruments and played in the band in 8th grade. And I had options to do it. I could have played trombone, I could have played baritone or the tuba. Also, I could have played the drums, but they had needed me for the baritone because they didn't have anybody else that could play it. So we had, it's like a contest or a concert that comes around every year. So we had to rehearse for it. And I had a solo during this moment that was very key for us to be able to cross over the songs and the material that we were using. So it was a lot of pressure on me, but I was so used to those type of moments in my life that once it came to be put on me, I had a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine named Kevin. And we played the same instrument. So I had told him the times that I needed him to come and fill in for me, because at some points I wasn't able to catch the moments or to be able to keep my breath to play through the whole time. So me and him came in with a solution to play at the right moments, and we ended up becoming becoming placed at number 1 in my contest.
Amen. That's right. That's right.
I wanted to be successful and wealthy, not just for myself, but to be the example for other people that was around me, and the people that were coming up behind me, so that if they need me, I could be able to show them the right path to get there. I remember playing drums in church young, trying to keep up with the tempo with the other instruments. And when I felt I was coming off tempo, I would look to my mother, and she would put me back on track. Also playing sports, sometimes I needed the guidance and the energy because it started to fade during the course of the game. And I would look into the stands where my mother and my family would be, and I could get that energy to push through.
Amen.
Off the field, sometimes I wouldn't be as disciplined as I could. Life had me in a whirlwind, blowing me here, there, up and down, not having anywhere to stay, not having food to eat, not having the things that my family gave, that my peers' family gave them. These pressures made me look inside and unlock the blueprint that my architect had landed and planned out for me. And the deeper I dug, the richer the soil became. I also have been a landscaper in my time, and doing that, I had to learn the different soils, the different textures, the vitamins and the nutrients that soil needs for it to give the proper energy and different things to the plant and the grass that we're growing. And all the time when you dig, and we used to dig with different instruments, maybe a pick or a shovel, sometimes with heavier equipment, the deeper you get, the understanding the texture of the soil that you would get, it would be more soft, it would be more rich. That's why trees and plants send their roots underground, because that's where a lot of their food and the process of growth comes from. I can remember not having many toys growing up and wishing to have action figures. So I took notebook paper and I formed action figures out of notebook paper. Once I started to put wear and tear on the notebook paper, I had to level up, and I crossed over to straw man. So I made straws out of action figures. So when I wanted a place in an arena for them to play in, I had to go to the next level and take an old shoebox
All right.
and get 4 sticks and strings and sewing needles to make the ropes and made a boxing ring for them. See, it's never the point of wanting something. It's about what you're going to do to make you have that mentality and make the idea become alive. As some may know, I was incarcerated at the age of 18 and sentenced to 20 years. I had to do 10 of them behind bars. The first thing people say to me is, man, that was a long time. And yes, it was, but I wasn't planning on dying anytime soon, so I had to condition myself to that world. When I first got there, I felt lost and out of place. I couldn't get my grip on anything. One day, an older dude that was like a mentor to me, named Stream Bean, had been locked up already 28 years by that time. Told me, young blood, you gotta take what you had on the street and you gotta form it to make it in here. Now when he first told me that, it didn't register to me. It just ran in my mind what he said. It didn't make much sense. But as I used to sit down and think about it, my mother's voice came in my mind and said, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. And that was my coming alive moment. While I was in there, I made music. I made probably over 300 and something songs while I was incarcerated. And a lot of the music that I did, a lot of the people that are around me, they could see that it was from the heart and that the abilities that I had learned from my youth, that I could put it inside of my music and share my story. Also sports. Sports is a major thing that men feel like we have to be able to do to show ourselves and show that we are manly or just alpha. So I took that drive that I had from the free world and I brought it to the place that I was at and was able to interact with other people and build relationships with friends. Some friends that are still with me today that I met while there. Now, if one thing that you must know is that my family, we're full of the drive of a hustler. You can sell anything if you want it. So my connections and friends that I had made while I was incarcerated, we came up with a plan to make ourselves some money. So whatever the demand was, we put our abilities together to achieve that goal. Some of us were good at some things that others weren't, and vice versa. So we used the term administration for the situation.
Well, say that one more time. Administration for the situation.
So together we came up with a plan, and in a couple of months, we ran the whole facility. I used to call my mother from my cell phone and ask her what she needed, or to give her instructions or things so that I could send her money or gifts. Whatever she needed, that I could fill the void of my physical with my mental. I had a hard time while I was there, thinking about what I should have done, what I could be doing, and why the people that I felt like that was family to me or close friends to me wasn't there. But I always knew that if I strive for more, that I would achieve more. People would say to me, man, you seem like you're always in another world. And I was. I didn't have the discipline to sit myself down on the streets. So I was forced to put myself in a situation to make myself, to learn to discipline myself all over again. I taught myself how to read more. I used my mind, my imagination through the books that I read, and it took me to a whole other world. Thinking about my history, I put research into that, thinking about anything that would keep me relative, that I wouldn't feel like I was being lost or taken over by where I was at. The youngsters, they would call me Unc, and also Dr. Gyles while I was there.
All right.
Because anytime they needed advice of the situation, they could come to me, and whatever I knew, I would present it to them and give them that advice needed. I will also, if I didn't know, do the research with them so that I could feel that I was learning something new.
Amen.
Because
Amen.
never in life have you achieved what you think that you achieved.
Yeah.
In the sense of that it's complete or done. I was building up my skyscraper, and the place that I was at couldn't slow me down. The plan that was already written out for me, I knew that one day this phase of life would be over, and I had to prepare myself for the greater one to come. So as I stand here today, through all that I have been through, I haven't reached or finished the building of my skyscraper, because there is no top to your room or space. My room may be in the stars, but the building up and the preparing of and the repairing of what I needed and what I have built already still needs to be fixed, improved, and maintained. These levels have been my standing ground,
Yeah.
my home,
Yeah.
my fortress.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes to keep that there, I must continue to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like I said before, I like to thank my mother for building me in the way that she has. Because no matter where I go or who I'm around, I always get the statement, I never met anyone like you. You are truly one of a kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gyles.
Amen.
Thank you guys for receiving my son. I don't know if you're gonna do this song that he had played.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we need somebody to hold that on so they can get us doing this. Thank you all so much. Happy Mother's Day to all of you all. But you know, we're looking kind of messed up right now.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Ooh. So just as, you want to tell me,
This is a song I entitled My Number One Fan. It's about my family. This is probably the first song that I wrote while I was behind bars. It was around December. And December is my birthday. And it was just a point in life that I felt like I needed to express myself. So this is how it goes. If you could clap with me or just keep a rhythm with me, it's like this. I want to thank God for blessing me with the family. See, I love so deeper than the natural I can see. Even through it all, the exhaust, the fall, the goodwill, the mall, from 2 feet tall, for the call. We still live together when this world left us cold and alone. No house, no home. Let me show you till I backbone. You never get home. Dillard, Cheryl, Dillard, you waiting home. Somebody show you to a real queen. Felt I could never did lean down and down in the mud, but you still lean. Put some trust and some trouble for some things you never did. Bring good to stop with her, and I put that on everything. See, you don't know who you talking to. Her steps to a greatest goal, let me walk you through. You couldn't take a sit down, what you ought to do. You couldn't figure out a mystery clue if you had glue for Steve or fake the gadget. Got the pieces every pocket like a box of matches. Yes, you get some damn bread, it's not a bunch of faggots. Yes, you get it in her head, bread, if you want it, then you can have it. When hard, we was like it, she made us get cold. Never leave it out your brain, cause this world is still cold. If it wasn't about about some passion in this go toe to toe. That's why I want the world to know. Yeah, my number one fan. This one goes out to my mother. I give her my heart just to show her that I love her. I got the same feeling for my sister and mother. I'm not your brother, you know I love it. Yeah, my number one fan. This one goes out to my brother. I will give her my heart just to show them that I love her. I got the same feeling for my sister and mother. Nobody above it, you know I love it. Yeah, my number one fan. This one goes out to my brother.
Yes.
It was in the intro to another. He stays strong, never folding like cover. Yeah, the great guy Dillard. You set the stakes high here. It wouldn't be proper for me to start this any other way without glasses in the sky, chatting palm to tape. We going back like headlines and fish done days. Remember, when you gave me that first fade. Remember when we was real little? We sat on the porch screaming 18-wheeler. And through my life, you was my only true father figure. You was the reason that my self-esteem way bigger. Remember Nashville in the hood, they always used to shoot. Remember Nashville, we got a program of prostitutes. Remember Nashville, drug dealers, and all the look away the friends. Turn mama baby boys in the rooms. We the same song played at a different room. Two different rooms, but we hollering at the same room. Different problems, but we got the same thing. Different way, I'm the same number one fan. This one goes out to my brother. I would give her my heart just to show him that I love her. I got the same feeling for my sister and mother. Nobody above me, you know I love it. Yeah, my number one fan. This one goes out to my sister. I would give her my heart just to show her that I love her. I got the same feeling for my mother and brother. Nobody above me, you know I love her. Yeah, my number one fan. Everybody needs this BCC. Mama Junior, sing like a bird. She hit Jesus, terror. Don't think that it's all sweet. Leave high now, her conscience 10 feet. All lovers, all comments, she's not good at all. Had to grow fast, yeah, walk before you fall. Never fall when you were small. I was still raw. Used to play hardball when you were just in the soul. My fault, that's the way that I was taught. It would make you tough, that the things that I thought. You would follow me good in hand, and that's one thing, baby, that I couldn't stand. And see, I couldn't love you like I love my brother. See, you with me through my life, but you was with me through my struggle. See, now I see all you wanted was my attention. A girl didn't go, so I was full of a teacher. The homie brother, I that you're thinking this was fiction. Now they don't see me was the perfect edition. Y'all could have done it better way back in the past. But we only going forward and no way we going back. You're the road from the corner, so here go the past. I'm gonna cheer for my number one fan. This one goes out to my sister. I will give her my heart just to show her that I love her. I got the same feeling for my sister and my brother. Nobody above her, you know I love her. Yeah, my number one fan. This one goes out to y'all. It's all 30 years off the wall. No matter what we go through, we gon' do what we do. No matter what you do, I'm gonna tell them my number one fan.
My number one fan. My number one fan. My number one fan.
And that's why I said bring as many young people. This is a powerful testimony. It's a testimony to what the system does to our young men. But it's also a testimony to who we are, rich in heritage. What they sent to break him didn't break him. It made him stronger. He hasn't stopped. He comes from a powerful woman. When I first met her, I remember being in class and your mother in tears said, y'all gotta pray for my baby. He shouldn't be there. She would keep saying that he shouldn't be there. And I think, well, I've never met him. And I started, yes, Lord, rose above what the honor society is and became God's honoree. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
And we had such strange energy in seminary. We didn't know why. You know, it's almost as if when you're watching the Game of Thrones or Atlanta Housewives, the characters you think should be friends, sometimes they're just, and sometimes we would just look at each other in seminary like, come on, you. But I knew the times in class she was done wrong.
Yes.
I prayed for that sister. Prayed for you. She is the only person I call prophet.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hear me. I don't give that lightly. She is a strong woman. You just saw someone speak about the house that his mom built. Come on. If you were to sit and have a conversation with your children and say, how did I build you, baby? How did I mold you? Now, we equate that to the hand of God, but sometimes the hand of God begins with mama's hand. And God's working through you and what you're putting in them and how you're dealing with them. I love that he said when he was at home alone, he thought, well, what would my mama be doing? And what would she cook? Sometimes we don't think about that as parents. And I know my girls have probably done that. Now I know he didn't tell us about the times he had to hide what he did. I'm so thankful that today we have heard from the new church. See, I'm here to tell you, we are the old church. This is new church. That's new church. That's new church back there. Y'all better get ready because it will not sound and look the way we did it. And that is going to be on purpose. You see him lay into that rap? The new church is coming forward. And everything they haven't liked about how we do it, hey, come on, y'all gotta change it. And I'm the first preacher to give you permission to be in my pulpit.
Thank you.
I heard him speak at his mother's gathering, the I Am gathering. And I'm like, wait a minute now. He sounded like he came from a prophet. I'm so thankful for the Dillard family.
Amen.
So very thankful. She's a dear friend. And I can't hide nothing from her. Sarah, thank you for being here as well. Sarah is a graduate of Savannah State.
Amen.
Yes. Did I hear AKA? Justine? You met your sorrow, I'm sure. Yes, Miss Justine back there. Grace isn't here, but they have a big chapter here that doesn't.
Got Mamie.
Miss Mamie, why am I just knowing you for AKA? Give me up. What is it? Give me up. Yes. All right, Miss Mamie. Really do. It's a pinky thing, right? I didn't pledge, guys. All right, Miss Mamie. I just learned something new.
As a mother, and for the older mothers, because my son does represent the new generation, and I'm just so thankful again to be here. I love Charlotte. We have become so good. We were peers and in classmates, but we are friends.
Yes.
And that speaks to about you don't have any friends. You get divided. But I'm thinking about an old song. Can I go old school for the mothers that are here today? For the 9 months, I carried you.
Oh, yeah.
Growing inside me, no charge. For the nights I set up with you, doctor, you prayed for you. Come here, son. No charge. For the time and the tears and the cost through the years, there is no charge. When you add it all up, when you add it all up, when you add it all up, the real cost of my love is no charge. Great. Yes. Thank y'all for letting me share that with you.
At this time, I hope you have enjoyed this dynamic speaker. He was smooth, wasn't he? If you have to rewind, he gave a lot that you need to hear. If you didn't catch it all, listen to it again. And of course, you know what to do. Like and follow Beth Salem Presbyterian Church on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, go to Charlotte Pastor Caldwell, subscribe and follow. We love you. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Bye.
Wonderful.